is Zach Seidel, Deputy Mayor for Mayor Karen Bass. Ahead of her first year anniversary on December 12th, Mayor Bass is crisscrossing Los Angeles, highlighting her work on homelessness, safety, business, climate, and city services. And today we are highlighting efforts on climate. She will announce bold steps taken during her first year in office to build a greener Los Angeles and protect the environment. After the mayor, you will hear from Councilwoman Katie Yaroslavsky, who chairs the Energy and Environment Committee on City Council. After that, we will hear from Nancy Sutley, Deputy Mayor of Energy and Sustainability, who landed last night from a trip in South Africa, where she will tell you more about shortly, but it was about this very issue. Following that, we will hear from Tracy Quinn, CEO of Heal the Bay and Metropolitan Water District Board of Directors. After that, we are going to hear from General Manager Barbara Romero. Following that, we'll hear from General Manager Marty Adams, and then we will hear from General Manager Romero for remarks in Spanish. As always, I'll call for questions probably over here from the right. And with that, I will hand it over to Mayor Bass.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'd like to thank everyone for being here today as we highlight our progress in confronting the climate crisis. Thank you to Councilwoman Katie Yaroslavsky, who has been a champion on this issue, and Tracy Quinn, Executive Director of Heal the Bay and the Board Director of the MWD. I also want to acknowledge our general managers here today. Marty Adams, our General Manager of the LA DWP, Barbara Romero, General Manager of LA Sanitation, as well as commissioners who are here today, Susanna Reyes and George McGraw. So let me begin by saying this. The progress we've made this year is based on a foundation that has been in the works for more than a decade, led by my two predecessors, LA Mayor Antonio Villaraigosa and Mayor Eric Garcetti. If they had not taken the action they did, I would be at this podium telling you that it is too late. But because they had a vision and the urgency, we are well on our way to building a greener Los Angeles. Earlier today, our office released 6 pages worth of accomplishments from this first year on climate. I'm not going to read the whole thing, but here are some highlights. First are the resources. In order to make Los Angeles on track to achieve 100% renewable electricity by 2035, we partnered with the state of California, which secured up to $1.2 billion from the U.S. Department of Energy to build a statewide hydrogen ecosystem. A large portion of this award will go directly to green hydrogen projects here in LA, managed by LADWP. We also secured $48 million from the U.S. Department of Energy's Grid Deployment Office as I was leading a delegation of city council members in Washington, D.C. It was exciting to be handed a $48 million check, which was a surprise to us when we were there. But we also launched the Comprehensive Affordable Multifamily Retrofit Program, which was led by LADWP and developed in partnership with community stakeholders. This program offers multifamily property owners no-cost property assessments to identify efficiency opportunities to help owners and their residents to save energy and reduce costs. The progress we've made is important, but there is still so much more to do. We're cleaning up our power grid, building new zero-emission transit and transportation options, and addressing climate and environmental justice issues, and creating a more climate-resilient water supply. Now I'd like to introduce my colleague, Councilwoman Yaroslavsky, the chair of the Energy and Environment Committee.
Thank you, Mayor Bass. Good afternoon, everyone. This has been quite a year. It's been an incredible honor to serve the constituents of Council District 5 over the past year and to have the opportunity to work alongside you as we take on the city's biggest challenges. And I know we're here to talk about climate work, but I just want to take a moment to highlight some of the other really important work that's happening in addition to everything that's going on around climate. We've passed the largest expansion of tenants' rights in 4 decades. We brought hundreds of people off the streets in Council District 5 and thousands across the entire city through Inside Safe. We've passed a record $1.3 billion in new funding to fight homelessness in this budget cycle alone. We've passed legislation to rapidly accelerate new 100% affordable housing by working to codify Executive Directive 1. and on and on and on. But that's not why we're here today. We're not here today to talk about all this stuff. So I just want to note that because it's incredibly important what's happening on the housing and homelessness side. We did all of that work without taking our eye off the ball on climate, which we know is the existential threat that we're facing as a planet. On climate, I want to speak briefly to what the mayor said about implementation. We spent a lot of time and resources as a city planning for this moment. We have rightfully set very ambitious goals, and thanks to the work of those standing behind me and so many more who aren't here today, we know what we have to do to move forward as a city. This is the time for action, and that's exactly what we're doing. This facility is a testament to that, as is the work being done at the Hyperion Water Treatment Plant. They're both part of our larger effort to source 70% of our water locally by 2035. Seems far away, but it's only 12 years from now. Today, that number stands at just 10%, so we have a long way to go. I'm going to be honest, when I became chair of the city's Energy and Environment Committee last year, I wasn't entirely confident in our ability to reach that goal. From my perspective, there was a lot of work to do. There was a lot of good work happening at sanitation, DWP, the Metropolitan Water District, but it was largely happening in silos. But we pressed the agencies. Over the last year, we've been pressing them to formalize how they work together, and they agreed recently to enter into a memorandum of understanding at last month's Energy and Environment Committee. This agreement's going to spell out roles and responsibilities as we work toward a regional approach to increasing the resilience of our water system in the face of a changing climate. Because we know that we're going to have much longer, more severe, and more frequent droughts, even as those droughts are punctuated by intense rains such as we saw last year. We can do big things in Los Angeles, but only if we do them together and hold each other accountable. We need that level of accountability because invariably, as is the case with anything ambitious, this work is going to be challenging. It's why last month I introduced and the council passed a motion that would create a citywide climate action and adaptation plan, which will create a legally binding framework for reaching our climate goals as a city. Most of our sustainability efforts right now have no legally binding enforcement mechanisms, and this motion is going to change that. It will also identify gaps in our climate efforts so we can be sure the city is doing everything we can to reduce harmful greenhouse gases and localized air pollutants, and preparing our communities to be more resilient in a changing climate. We've also recommitted DWP to the LA 100 goal of 100% clean energy by 2035, and we've accelerated our efforts to phase out fossil fuel production in Los Angeles. Clearly, we have our work cut out for us, and our efforts are just one piece of a global strategy to prevent climate catastrophe. But I can tell you that this council and our mayor are ready to do what it takes to make our communities healthier, more livable, more resilient, and ultimately more equitable. Thank you.
Next speaker is Nancy Sutley, Deputy Mayor for the Environment.
Thank you, Mayor. Thank you, Council Member Yaroslavsky, and all of you for being here today. You're standing here at a collaborative project by the LA DWP and LA Sanitation to secure the water future for Los Angeles. As the Mayor mentioned, I just got back from South Africa. The Mayor of Cape Town, South Africa, invited me to join experts from around the world in a critical conversation about water reuse. Cape Town, which has a Mediterranean climate similar to Los Angeles, nearly ran out of water in 2017. To avoid approaching another day zero, much like LA, Cape Town is looking to water reuse as a climate-proof water resource. I was able to share Los Angeles' experience, and we discussed areas of collaboration. But this new facility here in LA will treat water that was once wastewater and produce purified water for groundwater replenishment via the nearby Hansen Spreading Grounds. This project will use advanced treatment processes, including microfiltration, reverse osmosis, and ultraviolet and advanced oxidation, and provide a new groundwater supply source for up to 250,000 customers in the San Fernando Valley. This key project will enhance the city's climate resilience by providing a sustainable local drinking water source to a drought-stressed region. In addition to large projects like here at the Donald C. Tillman plant, the City of LA continues to demonstrate leadership in advancing local supplies. An example of this is our recycled water project called the Headworks Direct Potable Reuse Facility. LADWP, with continued coordination with LA Sanitation, is currently constructing the water reuse demonstration facility near the Headworks Reservoir just north of Griffith Park. This will be one of the state's first approved direct potable reuse projects. And LA Sanitation and LADWP, as you've heard, are working together on an ambitious plan to maximize treated wastewater produced at the Hyperion plant for water reuse. The future of the city's water is located here in Los Angeles. Angelenos continue to do a great job conserving water. We use less water today than we did in the 1980s, despite a growth in population of over 1 million people. Using local water will create a more sustainable and climate-resilient Los Angeles that weathers the effects of climate change. Thank you. And now I'd like to introduce Tracy Quinn, the CEO of Heal the Bay and one of my fellow Metropolitan Water District Board of Directors members. Tracy?
Good afternoon. Mayor Bass, Councilmember Yaroslavsky, Deputy Mayor Sutley, thank you for including Heal the Bay today. Heal the Bay was founded nearly 40 years ago with the goal of improving wastewater treatment operations at the city's Hyperion water reclamation facility. Since then, we have been working across Greater LA to protect and restore our coastal watersheds and our gorgeous Santa Monica Bay. We are so grateful for Mayor Bass's commitment to building a greener, more sustainable Los Angeles. In her first year in office, we have seen significant state and federal funding to improve our region's climate resilience. Her experience and relationships with leaders at all levels of government are unprecedented and allow us to act with the urgency needed to solve the climate crisis here in LA and across the country. Mayor Bass, thank you for your leadership and the leadership of your incredible team. We look forward to working with all of you to ensure safe, reliable, and affordable water for all Angelenos. Thank you. Thanks.
Good afternoon. Barbara Romero, General Manager of LA Sanitation and Environment. Thank you all for joining us here, and welcome to Donald C. Tillman. I want to thank Mayor Karen Bass and the Chair of E&E, Councilmember Katie Yaroslavsky, to be here with us. And under their leadership, we are making, DWP and Sanitation is making progress on our goal to recycle 100% of our wastewater by 2035. Here at Donald C. Tillman, it's one of 4 facilities that LA Sanitation and Environment manages, and we treat over 80 million gallons of wastewater that serves over 750,000 residents and businesses here in the San Fernando Valley. It's making way for our partner at LADWP to build out the water purification project that will ultimately add to our drinking water supply. As you all know, water is one of our most precious resources. With the climate crisis and the ongoing drought, our new normal water is one of our most precious resources. It's imperative that we make use of every drop. This means using every technological development we can in order to adapt. As part of our Los Angeles groundwater replenishment program, the advanced water purification facility that is being built here at Donald C. Tillman is one key part of this ambitious city's plan. It has taken decades, as some have stated, with a lot of strategic planning, innovative pilot projects with all the different departments, and valuable community input to get us to this point. Recycled wastewater from this plant will be used at the Hansen spreading grounds to help replenish the San Fernando Valley's groundwater basin. That water will be purified here, will be at the quality that it will exceed drinking water standards using advanced treatment processes. This is cutting-edge technology that's being built. It will produce enough water to supply 250,000 Angelenos per year. Did you guys hear that? 250,000 Angelenos per year. Thank you, and hope to see you here back at the ribbon cutting. Marty Adams, General Manager of DWP.
We're trying to follow the step there. Good afternoon. First of all, thank you, Mayor Bass, for bringing us here today. You have so many pressing issues in the city to deal with, but we really appreciate you taking out this afternoon, absolutely taking out the time this afternoon to recognize the things that are behind the scenes for infrastructure that we don't always see on the front page, and they don't seem as pressing, but they're pressing because of the time involved, the commitment that has to be made many years in advance to make these projects a reality. And thank you, Councilmember Yaroslavsky, for keeping Barbara and I's feet to the fire here. And Barbara, thanks for having us here at the beautiful Tillman Water Reclamation Plant, one of the real highlights in the San Fernando Valley. So besides why we're here at Tillman, this is part of the collaboration that us and LA San and the rest of the city family have going on to make the city a much more sustainable city for all of its residents. And we talk about sustainability at Water and Power. We talk about not only reliable and low-cost water and energy, but also done in an environmentally responsible way. But we need to make sure that every one of our customers is able to be included in that journey forward. And so you hear us talk about the word equity a lot. And a couple weeks ago, just before Thanksgiving, we unveiled our Powered by Equity initiative, which was a result. It was a second piece to the LA 100 study, resulting in collaboration between us, the federal government, a number of stakeholders, UCLA, as well as our community-based organizations, to look at how we get to the future in the most appropriate way so that everybody can participate. Because the city is not sustainable if we can't bring all of our residents along with us along that journey. And so as part of our program, we look at the 27,000 chargers we have in Los Angeles, of which only about 5,000 are available publicly. And we're creating a new plan to create dozens and dozens of charging plazas throughout the city of Los Angeles, including in our disadvantaged communities, so that everyone who lives maybe in multifamily housing or doesn't have the ability to put a charger at their place where they live has the ability to buy an EV vehicle and have it charged and know that it's chargeable every day. To go with that, we've increased our used EV rebates for our Lifeline and Easy Save customers to $4,000 per vehicle. And so hopefully that gets more people in the market for electric vehicles so we can really turn the corner on electrifying our transportation system. On the water supply, almost 2 months ago, we celebrated another grant from the state, $14 million, which will help our low-income customers be able to have turf replacement, part of our turf replacement program that we've done for years in LA, but to be able to pay for that up front with money from the state of California so that everybody can participate in the turf replacement program, so that water that's used outdoors is used wisely and water that we don't need to use outdoors can be saved for other purposes. This is all part of our plan to make the city more sustainable, to make sure that as we do this and do projects like this, that we're bringing all of our customers along, that everybody has a chance to participate, not just in water supplies like this that benefit the whole city, but also individually as customers to be able to participate in programs to save water and power at their homes and to participate in the rebate programs as well. Because as we move the city forward, we'll only do it if we do it all together, because we need all 4 million residents to make this happen. Thank you very much. And now back to Barbara.
Buenas tardes. Gracias por acompañarnos el día de hoy. Yo soy Bárbara Romero, soy la gerente general de LA San. I don't know how to say that in Spanish. Quiero agradecer a la alcaldesa Karen Bass y al concejal Katie Yaroslavsky por el liderazgo que estamos aquí en la ciudad avanzando en nuestro objetivo de reciclar el 100% de nuestras aguas residuales para el 2035. Con la crisis climática y la sequía actual como nuestra nueva normalidad, el agua es uno de nuestros recursos más preciados, el imperativo que aprovechamos cada gota. Este proyecto significa utilizando todos los desarrollos tecnológicos que podamos usar para adaptarnos a nuestra nueva realidad. Como parte del programa de reabastecimiento de agua subterránea de Los Ángeles, la instalación va a avanzar la purificación de agua que está construyendo aquí en la planta de recuperación de agua de Donald C. Tillman. Es una parte clave de esa ambiciosa plan. Se han necesitado décadas de planificación estratégica, proyectos pilotos, innovadores y valiosos aportes de la comunidad para llegar a este punto. Las aguas residuales recicladas de esta planta se van a utilizar en Hansen Spreading Grounds para ayudar a reponer la cuenca de agua subterránea del Valle de San Fernando. El agua que se purificará aquí tendrá una calidad que superar los estándares de agua potable utilizando procesos de tratamiento avanzados. La tecnología de punta que se está construyendo producirá suficiente agua para abastecer a 250,000 angelinos por año. Muchas gracias y los espero ver aquí cuando abra el proyecto.